Good evening, speech class. Tonight I'm going to talk to you a little bit about credit cards. You see, many years ago, I believe cash was king, credit cards were bad, and there was no real reason for a good credit score. This, of course, changed when I realized I needed a good credit score to buy a house. That's when I realized the importance of a good credit score, but also realized the benefits of having a credit card. So why credit cards make the most sense? Today I will attempt to persuade you as to why credit cards should be your primary purchasing method. Credit cards are the safest against fraud. Credit cards can save you money. And credit cards come with a ton of benefits. So how are credit cards the safest against fraud? Let's talk about that. When you use a credit card, you are not liable for fraudulent transactions. You do have some protection with debit cards, but not as much. You are federally protected each time you use your credit card, or each time your credit card information is stolen. You are not responsible for those transactions. Also, if you use your debit card and the bank decides on their goodwill to go ahead and refund you the transactions that were fraudulently made, that can take time. The money was taken out of your bank account immediately and it's not there. You may get a courtesy adjustment from the bank. You may not. They are under no obligation to do so. So if they choose not to courtesy adjust that, you're left with a bank account that is zero or worse in the negative. So those reversals can take quite some time. Also, you can be responsible for overdrafts. You may be thinking, well, of course, I could be responsible for those overdrafts. But what about the legitimate charges that you made around the same time that a bad guy got a hold of your credit card number? You could be responsible for those for those overdraft charges as well. That's one thing to consider. So, what about saving money? How can credit cards save you money? There's many ways that they can do this. The first one is they offer perks such as free checked bags, free TSA pre-check for those who like to skip the lines at the airport, or even free Uber credits. All these things we use on our day-to-day lives, and they can all save us money. Also, the impact to your credit score is something to consider when using credit cards. Utilization of your credit cards accounts for 30% of your score. So with a higher score, you will be able to reap the rewards of a better credit score, which can result into lower interest rate, such as on your mortgage payment or on your auto loans. So those are just a few things to consider. Another way credit cards save you money is you have lower out-of-pocket expenses for things such as rental cars, insurance, deposits, and even opening up a cell phone account. I remember when I was in Australia, they asked if I'd ever driven on the right side of the road, and I had not. So they went ahead and pre-authorized my credit card for $3,000 just in case I'd accidentally drove on the right side of the road. So that was an unforeseen expense that I never directly saw that came out of my bank account. Instead, it was just an authorization on my credit card. That was a very beneficial feature of the credit card at that time. So what amazing benefits do credit cards offer? Credit cards offer a ton of amazing benefits. Avoiding authorization holds is one of them. So I gave you an example with the rental car, but some people may not realize that when you go pump gas and you only intended on putting maybe $10 or $15 into the gas tank, the gas station may authorize your card up to $75. That can be a big inconvenience if you're getting low on funds. Also, additional warranty. That's a good talking point. So anytime you purchase an electronic, for example, with a credit card that has this feature, you will get an additional warranty up to a year in addition to what the manufacturer's warranty was. So let's say you bought a new MacBook and it come with a 6-month replacement warranty. You would get an additional year warranty for free built into the benefits of the credit card that would begin as soon as that 6 months ended. So also, you get points or cash back. This is one of my favorite ones. I mentioned Australia, and there's a few other destinations that I'll spare you, but I like to travel, and that's one of the great benefits of using a credit card. Every time you use my credit card, or every time you use a credit card, you have an opportunity to earn points or even cash back Many credit card issuers even have 5% categories where you can really accumulate the points. Credit cards as your first choice. So why should credit cards be your first choice? Well, let's recap. Number one, they're the safest against fraud and put you in the best situation if you were in a situation where somebody stole your credit card information. Number two, they can actually save you money in your day-to-day lives, your normal spending. You can save lots of money. And lastly, they come with tons of benefits. Benefits that can pay forward in your everyday purchases or help to pay for a vacation that you've been planning with the family. So, in the beginning of this talk, I mentioned that cash was king and credit cards were bad, and I hope that after our talk today that you can see the error of my ways and can see why credit cards should be your primary purchasing method. Thank you.